just picked up another collection filled with bronze and copper marble keys. Let's take a look at what we got next on Bronzeville Comics. Hey guys, this is Jim from Bronzeville Comics. Welcome to another video on the channel here. This is a collection that I picked up this weekend. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about the books in this collection. So, guy reached out to me on Instagram. He had seen some of my videos, and he had a collection that he wanted to move. So we set up a meet time. We went back and forth. He gave me a list. He was very organized with the collection he had. And he gave me some pictures of some of the key books. We negotiated a price. Now, I am not going to tell you how much I paid for these books because that's given me nothing but headaches in the past. So we agreed on a price and agreed on a meetup time and place. So I was on my way. So we're off to hopefully buy a collection. The guy sent me a list. He has 4 short boxes, a lot of good books. Not a whole lot of filler issues in there. But the runs that they had were basically X-Men and Avengers, and a lot of key issues in there, so I'm kind of curious as to condition. He sent me some pictures. Most of the pictures, the books look to be in decent grade, so we kind of have a temporary deal in place depending on what the books look like, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what I get. So we'll see you on the other side. Okay, so here's the collection. It was pretty much as he described it. Everything was nicely organized, and the books on the whole are in pretty nice condition. So we got the first Killraven. That's a little bit of an older book, so it's a little rougher. Gwen Stacy has some problems with it. But as we get a little bit later in the Spider-Man run, just to pick out a book, they look pretty sharp. And of course, most interested in that one, which newsstand. Take a closer look at that. There was also, where is she? There we go. There's Monica, newsstand. First Deathlock. Yeah, not in the greatest shape. Again, the books that were like in the 25 cents range are a little rougher. A nice run of Avengers here. So the original collector was an Avengers fan, and you know, as we get a little bit later on, for the most part, the books get nicer. And this is kind of what we have throughout. So this last box is mostly X-Men stuff, some early Warlock, and then X-Men. Nice early silver one, or not early, but a silver one. And then we start with 102, and it pretty much goes all the way through. Has some Alpha Flight, Dazzler, right? And this later stuff seems to all be, for the most part, I think it was newsstand. It goes up to like, I think 180. Okay, and a lot of it is newsstand, which is kind of a plus. You don't see that from collectors of a certain era. So we're going to break this all down and pull out some keys and see what we got. So I had asked the guy a little bit about the collection. He told me up front. This was the guy I met. It was not his collection. It was a high school friend's. And I guess when the friend went off to college, he left his comics, which totaled about 12 long boxes, at this guy's parents' house. Years have gone by. These collectors are close to my age, you know, old. And he was looking to now move them. He said he had brought them to a comic store and they were offering about 10 cents a book because they went through, the comic shop owner said there's no Hulk 181, there's no Giant Size X-Men 1, there's no ASM 129, and kind of gave him a very low ball offer. So what he ended up doing was donating a lot of the books. So what was left were four short boxes, but what was left was kind of the best books. So based on what was in here, there were runs of Avengers, X-Men, Iron Fist, and a little bit, to a degree, Amazing Spider-Man, and then some other books here and there. So the original collector, all Marvel, mostly newsstand. And these 12 long boxes had been culled down to 4 short boxes. And most of what was in the short boxes were semi-keys, none of the huge Bronze Age keys, like, you know, no Hulk 181, no Giant Size X-Men 1, but some nice books. So let's take a look. This is more or less the way they were organized. The guy had them really nicely organized. First up, we have Amazing Adventures #1, the first appearance of Killraven. Okay. And then we get into our ASMs, and this is 121, The Death of Gwen Stacy. When I first, this was one of the books he had sent me a picture of, and I thought that there was like scorch marks, but I believe that's grease pen over here right next to Gwen's picture. So hopefully that can come out. Didn't have every issue of ASM in this run. 149, this is the first appearance of Ben Reilly, the clone of Peter Parker. This team up with Punisher is the first appearance of Jigsaw. This is a nice book. The first appearance of the Black Cat. Second Black Cat. This is the first appearance of Calypso. There are rumors that Jodie Turner-Smith is potentially playing the Calypso character, who's a Haitian character and a practitioner of voodoo, that she may be playing that character in the Kraven the Hunter movie. 210, first appearance of Madam Web. We're going to see if she appears in the second Spider-Verse film. Not sure. But I keep coming across this book all the time. First Hydro Man. I think the stock in this book went down a little bit when it was shown that Hydro Man was not in Far From Home. That it was a Mysterio. And then there's 252, of course, the first Black Suit. Newsstand edition. I took a look at this. It's not a 9.8, but high grade. I mean, maybe a 9-ish. This is a book that's been heating up lately. This is number 257. This is the first issue in which Ned Leeds becomes Hobgoblin. Okay, a lot of speculation around Jacob Batalon and how his physique change may indicate the future of that character in the MCU. This particular book is where Reed Richards discovers that the Black Suit is actually an alien symbiote. And then there's this book, which was hot earlier this year, and I think is got potential to grow again. First appearance of Monica Rambeau, who is Captain Marvel, Photon, and Spectrum. So we're probably going to see her in the Marvels movie. I think she's going to be around for a little bit. This is Astonishing Tales 25, the first appearance of Deathlock. It also, in a backup story, has the first artwork in Marvel by George Perez. Second Deathlock. This is interesting. When I was going through, this is Avengers 63. I think this is the earliest Avengers book in the collection. And this is the issue where Clint Barton becomes Goliath. Now, if you watch the Hawkeye miniseries, Clint Barton does have some PIM technology. Could he grow in size? That would be a kind of fun little Easter egg. This is the first appearance of Red Wolf, who is a Native American character. And with diversity, there aren't a lot of Native American characters available to use. This is the first appearance of Valkyrie. However, it is not Valkyrie herself, it's the Enchantress pretending to be Valkyrie. This is the first appearance of the Squadron Sinister. Later, the Squadron Supreme, the kind of Marvelized versions of DC heroes, Hyperion, Nighthawk, and Dr. Spectrum, and so on, who are essentially Marvel versions of Superman, Batman, Green Lantern. This is their second appearance. This is a nice book, like really nice, the orange and yellow cover. This is the origin of T'Challa. Then the entire run of the Kree Skrull War. Some of these with Neil Adams covers. So these are nice books. '95. It goes through '97. Okay. That's a good storyline to have. Avengers 100, which has an appearance of every character who ever was an Avenger up to that point. I always wanted this book as a kid, and now I actually have 2 copies of that now. Black Widow joins. This is 112, first appearance of Mantis. She's still around and going to be in the next Guardians film. And now that they've introduced Swordsmaster, are the two going to meet? They were married in the comics. What is the significance of this book? 115. I am now stymied as to why I pulled this book out. It has some significance, but I don't remember. And 116. That's curious. What is the significance of these? I think they go together. There's something going on there. And 117. And 118. Oh, that's right. These are the Avengers side of the Avengers Defenders team up. That's right. That's what that is. 125, Thanos cover appearance. A Kang cover appearance in 129. We all know that Jonathan Majors is playing that character in Ant-Man Quantumania. And then these next two books, are where it's a retelling of Vision's origin, where it's discovered that Vision is actually using basically the body of the Golden Age Human Torch. That was since retconned. Some more Avengers. We got, this is the first appearance of Hellcat. Patsy Walker's Hellcat, 144. This is the first appearance of Jocasta, who was kind of this android robot that Ultron built to be his girlfriend. We did see that name hinted at in, I think it was one of the Iron Man films. This is the first appearance of Scott Lang, not when he's Ant-Man, just Scott Lang. This is the first cameo appearance of Taskmaster. And a nice newsstand copy of the first full appearance of Taskmaster. That movie's taken a little bit of a dip since some people were disappointed by the character in Black Widow. It was not the same as the character from the comics. But I do think that Taskmaster character does have a future in the MCU. This classic cover with Hawkeye and Ant-Man, that's just there for its classic cover status. Avengers Annual 7, The Death of Thanos. They got better. 10, the first appearance of Rogue. A little crunch there, but... And then some giant size. This is the second appearance of the Invaders in this book. This is, I believe it's the origin of Ramatut, who is a version of Kang. This is the death of Swordsman, and then as a ghost, he marries Mantis while Vision and Scarlet Witch get married. Mantis is revealed, her origins here in the revelation that she is the Celestial Madonna, which is something that actually crossed over into DC Comics in Justice League. And there was another, I'm trying to think, was it First Comics? I don't remember the exact issue or book that appeared in, but the same writer used a similar character a few times and it kind of crossed over. Black Panther #1, the first of his ongoing series by Jack Kirby. Captain America 217, this is the first appearance of the S.H.I.E.L.D. super soldiers, which included, amongst others, Falcon and Marvel Boy, who then becomes Quasar. Doesn't become Quasar in that issue. This is just first Cap, Punisher, Team Up 241, not something we're going to see in the MCU. In Captain Marvel, this is the death of Yon-Rogg, and it's also in this issue, Carol Danvers gets powers temporarily. It's later retconned that she had powers all along, that she was a mutant, but, you know, kind of like when Lois Lane would, you know, somehow get powers or something like that. And then this 25 is the first of the Thanos War storyline. 26 is the first cover appearance of Thanos, right there in the corner. 27, this is kind of a beat-up book, but it's the first appearance of Eros, also known as Star Fox. Harry Styles, we saw, is playing that character. And then the Thanos War continues. This is cover appearance of Thanos. And this is the origin of Drax. I believe this is the origin of Thanos. Champions #1. This was kind of a patchwork team of Hercules, Black Widow, Ghost Rider, and Angel and Iceman. But I had all the issues of that back in the day. That was a book I collected. This is the first appearance, Daredevil 101, of Ungar the Screamer. I think this is his second appearance. This is where Madame Mask, is that her name? Becomes, no. Anyway, she becomes Moondragon in this book, right? Who is Drax's daughter. Will we see her? It's possible. This is Frank Miller's first artwork on Daredevil. More Frank Miller classic covers. Classic Bullseye cover. First appearance of Elektra. That's a nice book. Second appearance of Elektra. Had a lot of this Daredevil run. Then some early Defenders. First few issues. Issue 1, that was a nice copy of that. Issue 2. Issue 4, which is the first true appearance of Valkyrie. Barbara Norris is that character, as opposed to the Avengers where she was Enchantress. This is part of the Avengers Defenders crossover. This classic cover with the battle between Hulk and Thor. That was actually the last book I needed to fill my Defenders run. I got it, and I've got like 2 or 3 copies since then. This is the first appearance of Starhawk. We've seen this, I've shown this book on the channel before. This is the character that Sylvester Stallone played in Guardians 2. And then Giant Size Defenders, #3, which is the first appearance of Korvac. People have been speculating that he'll be a villain at some point in the MCU. We haven't had anything approaching confirmation of that, but that's still a nice book to have. There's some fantastic, just a few Fantastic Four, a couple of silver ones. This classic Doctor Doom cover. This is an issue, another classic Kirby cover. Doom takes Silver Surfer's powers. This classic John Byrne Galactus cover. Frankie Ray becomes Nova, a Herald of Galactus. Then this, the annual #6, the first appearance of both Annihilus and Franklin Richards. This is a book that just this week made the Hot 10 list for, I have no idea what reason. Giant Size Fantastic Four #4, the first appearance of Jamie Madrox, the Multiple Man. Now, we did see him in one of the early X-Men films, and I believe he was in the animated series too, but I have no idea why that character just popped. Howard the Duck #1. I wouldn't be surprised if a Howard the Duck animated series comes down the pipe pretty soon from on Disney Plus. I think Seth Green is more than up for that. Rocket Raccoon's first appearance in Hulk 271. Then it was a complete run of Iron Fist. Iron Fist #1, not in the best of shape, but then Origin of Iron Fist, or second appearance, yeah. The Iron Fist and Cap meet. Again, not happening in the MCU. Then there's this one, the first appearance of Sabretooth. Sabretooth was not a Wolverine villain to begin with. He was an Iron Fist villain initially. Then Iron Man 55. This book has been heating up again. It's the first appearance of Thanos, the first appearance of Drax, cameo appearance of Eros, who becomes Star Fox. This is a nice book, but there is a crease in the corner, color-breaking crease here. But that's a cool book to have. Never had that book before. This is 118. This is the first appearance of James Rhodes. Small appearance, a cameo, nowhere near any time close to that point to being in the War Machine armor. And then the Demon in a Bottle storyline with this classic Bob Layton cover. Then the collection also had the first 3 issues of Marvel Feature, which starred the Defenders before they got their own solo book, or team book, I guess. And then Marvel Premiere 15, the first appearance of Iron Fist. It's a pretty nice copy. Second appearance, an origin of Iron Fist. First appearance of Colleen Wing. I thought that actress was great in the Netflix series. First appearance of Misty Knight. And then, what is the first? Oh, this is the first John Byrne artwork on Iron Fist. Marvel Premiere number 47, first Scott Lang as Ant-Man. That's been a book that, he's coming to another movie, at least one more. And Paul Rudd is the sexiest man in the world or in America. I'm not sure how that works. I was bypassed again this year. And then his second appearance, Secret Wars number 8, the origin of the black suit. Not a 9.8, but still reasonably high grade. This is a book that's gotten a lot of play lately. Captain Britain number 1, because of an Eternals post-credit sequence and a tweet by Henry Cavill and a mention of Brian Braddock in Endgame. I think it's all but inevitable that Captain Britain will come to the MCU. The first appearance of Mockingbird, and I have a theory. Mockingbird was married to Hawkeye for a while. They got divorced. By the time Kate Bishop rolls around, they've been divorced. Hawkeye's having a hard time. And then Secret Invasion, which is going to be a Disney Plus show, comes along. And Mockingbird was one of the characters the Skrulls impersonated. Linda Cardellini is a great actress, and she's been terribly underused by the MCU. You heard it here first. My prediction, post-credit sequence of Hawkeye, Linda Cardellini goes Skrull. That she was Mockingbird, and she's now a Skrull. Marvel Team Up 141, tied for the second appearance of the black suit. Marvel Team Up Annual number 1. This is the first time we see the new X-Men outside of their own title, in the giant size, obviously. Classic Thanos storyline in Marvel 2-in-1 Annual number 2. Ms. Marvel number 1, Carol Danvers. New Mutants number 1, their second appearance. They appeared first in a graphic novel. Nova number 1. I have so many copies of that. Power Man number 48. First time Power Man and Iron Fist team up. And then in number 50, the book is retitled. This is, oh gosh, I forget. Oh, it's the second appearance of Sabretooth. This is the third appearance of Sabretooth. This is the fourth and second cover appearance of Sabretooth. Like, Sabretooth is a nice villain, but fourth appearance, key significance, Spectacular Spider-Man number 1. Number 64, the first appearance of Cloak and Dagger. Spider-Woman number 1. And this is a nice newsstand copy of Thor 337, the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill. I would be shocked if we don't see him at some point in the MCU. We have Warlock number 10, which is the origin of Thanos and Gamora. Then the Wolverine Limited Series by Claremont and Byrne. The first 3 issues are all newsstands. Issue 4 is direct, but the complete series of that. And then we get into X-Men. There were a couple of Silver Age books in there. Pre-reprint. And then the run really starts with 102. Colossus versus Juggernaut there. And then I think this is the first appearance of... No, 104 is the first appearance of Corsair. And then 106 106 is the first Starjammers and the first Imperial Guard and Gladiator. Or maybe that's 107. But all of these, I think 108 is the first Burn artwork. First Vindicator, later the leader of Alpha Flight. This classic George Perez cover. Even when Byrne was doing the run, Perez got a cover. And then I love these two books. Cameo and full appearance of Alpha Flight. In pretty nice shape. Reasonably high grade. Jean Grey becomes Dark Phoenix. I'm sorry. This is the first appearance of Mutant X, Proteus, Maura McTaggart's son, and second one. This is the first appearance of Kitty Pryde, Emma Frost. Dazzler, first appearance of Dazzler and Sebastian Shaw. First Emma Frost cover. First Hellfire Club. First solo Wolverine cover. Jean Grey becomes Dark Phoenix. First Senator Kelly. Then they didn't have 137, The Death of Phoenix, which is not a hard book to come by or a pricey book. It is in high grade because of the square bound. Then Days of Future Past storyline. The Origin of Magneto. That's probably around, I think it went up to maybe 180 with the X-Men title. And then there were some annuals. Didn't have the Gambit annual. Didn't go that late in the run. But it had this first appearance. There's Frank Miller cover with Archon. Not to be confused with Arak. So that's it for that collection. What'd you guys think? I thought it was a pretty cool collection to pick up. You know, I'm still sorting through some other collections, so it's going to take time to really get through this and price this out and kind of get to some books and press them and clean them and get them out to CGC. So let me know what you thought. And until next time, enjoy your comics.